Peace, 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 and peace. This is Shango Ray, and I'd like to present to you your new moon energy read. This is not just a regular new moon. This is also a Lion's Gate, opening of the Lion's Gate. So a lot of things are going on energetically and spiritually at this particular time, and there's going to be a lot of different shifts. It's I hope honestly that all who are listening to this reading are taking advantage of this time, and this energy to get themselves right, perhaps rearrange and change what needs to be changed, so you can go on to the next level. I want to thank everybody also who joined the Your Roads Open ritual. That will be commencing later on tonight, at least on my part anyway. Excuse me. And as far as any other announcement goes, let me just say it like this. I have about 2 slots open for actual personal ritual work. So this is a very powerful time to get started with that. So if you are interested in personal ritual work, you can email me. Email should be popping up on the screen anytime now. All right, but without further ado, let's get into this new moon reading, okay? Shout out to all the Leos. All right. So I'm just gazing around here. A lot of things are actually coming through here. I'm going to start at the top. There's a reason why I pulled 8 cards also. So number 1, this is, if there was ever a time, and in my opinion, it can be any time, but this is definitely a time for letting go of any personal grudges, baggage, whatever you are holding I don't want to say negative charge, because, a feeling is just a feeling. You know what I'm saying? We classify them as positive or negative. And yes, they do have their own vibrations, and they do show up on certain scales. So in that way, when I say negative, I'm meaning negative. Some of you have been holding on to a lot of emotional debris from the past. And one of the things that you are being called to do here is to finally let it go. And one of the ways that you let it go, or another way to say letting it go, in my opinion, is to forgive. Let's just say, for the sake of this reading, that when we say to forgive, it means to release yourself from energetic bondage. Because to hold a grudge, to hold anger, to hold hatred to somebody, you're doing just that. I've explained this before. The analogy that comes to mind to me is like you are playing tug of war, and unless you let go of your side of the rope, you're still going to be playing. And that's actually costing you now a whole lot more. Especially, Spirit is saying, this is also the time for those. A lot of you have been holding grudges, and you've been punishing yourselves. And when what you will find is, as you truly and authentically forgive yourself, you're going to see more of the miracles that you have been, wanting to see and trying to create for yourself. It is like the supreme way of getting out of your own way. Also, do not be fooled. Your emotions do affect your money. I see a lot of different changes going on here for some of you, the way this is coming through to me. The way you even think about money is going to change in a very positive way. Your relationship with your energy, and therefore your relationship with your money, your currency, is going to reach new levels and new heights. That is, of course, contingent that you do whatever work you need to do to reconcile those things within yourself. Forgiveness to me is not even so much about going and telling somebody you're sorry. If you want to do that, fine. But the most important place that needs to happen is inside yourself. I also see, though, with this Five of Diamonds, some of you, because of this whole not forgiving yourself, you therefore start subconsciously punishing yourself, putting yourself in situations, be it jobs, relationships, or either just other life circumstances, a lot of times subconsciously, which end up draining you, leaving you depleted. Some of you feel like you have been on this hamster wheel of some kind, or like you're trying to tread water. And at times it's like only one fucking nostril is sticking up above the surface of the water. You know, you got to lighten up, man. You got to lighten up, man. Okay? When you hear about enlightenment, I'm sure you've heard this before. It means basically lighten the fuck up. We've all heard the stories of how when you die, you go to Ma'at and they weigh your heart against a feather, and your heart needs to be lighter than a feather in order to pass. You know, a lot of these emotional traumas and vendettas and just all these different things that we hold on to bind us here. It's bondage. Bondage 101. Okay, so do yourself that favor. And in so doing, you're going to be doing everybody around you a favor. When you start to change your frequency, manipulate your frequency consciously, and not be at not be at effect of whatever's going around you, or who did what, or who said what. That's when you start tapping into some God shit. God shit 101. You see the Three of Clubs here also. Now, this reading's going all over the place, but just walk with me, okay? You also see the Ace of Clubs. This doesn't necessarily mean to me, at this point in time anyway, the way it's coming through, it seems like some of you have had some type of plan or a strategy that you have been, the way it feels to me is like you've been depending on it. Like, I'm depending on this plan to work. But what Spirit is saying is, hey, don't be afraid to be adaptive. Don't get married to the how. As Shangorei says, and this is a Shangorei quote, it's trademarked. What and why spells how. If your what and why are clear enough, specific enough, and strong enough, it creates the how in ways that you definitely know not of. The Three of Clubs in this reading is coming through. It fits right in with that, because in order to do that effectively, to live like that, you have to be able to start seeing through your third eye, seeing through the eyes of your spirit. Okay? It reminds me of when I was in church and how church people would say, I seen it in the spirit. And now I laugh because I'm like, why don't you just say you seen it with the third eye, God damn it? You know what I'm saying? But seeing it with your spiritual eye or eyes, like you're looking through this 3D, like this 3D is like a pair of sunglasses. You can see the sunglasses, right? But you can also see through them, see through the veil, because in many ways, obviously, you know this. Well, this 3D is very illusional. There's a whole lot of different paradoxes that go along with this, but it is of utmost importance. And not just your spiritual eyes, your spiritual mind. Okay? Your spiritual mind. Because you have a physical mind too. Your physical mind is acutely aware of all the bullshit going on in your physical life. And it is acutely aware of what you think you cannot and can do. But there is a mind that supersedes that. And through this mind, that's where all the goodies come from. That's where all the inspiration, the insights, the channels, the ideas, where the connections are made, where the aha moments are had. When you know that you know that you know, you can start having a whole lot more of those. Just saying. Okay? For some reason, I don't know, this has nothing actually to do with anything that I know of, but I just feel I need to say it. You know what? Some of you really need to start fucking writing. Like, there is a message that some of you have that would benefit a lot of other people. And it would probably benefit your pockets as well. But you'll be bullshitting. Okay? You've been bullshitting. And it's time to stop the bullshitting. It's time to start writing. I don't know who the hell that's for. But you need to start writing. I'm talking like a book or something. Like, I feel that there's some books that need to be written. Okay? Now, if you want to get mundane on it, we can switch mundane on it. I do feel also there may be an air sign. You may experience some challenging moments in the days to come around an air sign. This air sign seems to be quite the compulsive liar and a rumor spreader. Okay? Now, yes, on the mundane level, that's one thing. I would ask, you know what? Once again, looking through your spiritual eyes, whenever something pops up in your life, there's a tip. Mo Papa Shangito, straight to you. See how it mirrors something in yourself so you can ask something. So for example, whoever's having to deal with the effect or the influence of this external person who seems to be spreading rumors, and rumors can start trouble, cause problems. You can ask yourself, where am I lying to myself? Because if there's somebody showing up lying about me, spreading rumors about me, well then I can look at the direct correlation. It's very simple. So you can ask yourself, where am I lying to myself? What false rumors about myself am I spreading to myself that have been affecting me? Because the way this shit works that I've seen with myself, and I can see it in others, you can't do something for too long inside without something on the outside showing up that mirrors it perfectly. It's not even an analogy. It's not even a metaphor. It's like fucking spot on. It's perfectly. That's how you can start to just start to look and decode. And that's how you can really start gauging what's going on in your internal world, be it good, bad, or ugly. There is also seems to be a relationship coming for some of you. I'm not saying it's going to be the one. It could be the one for right now. It may be a long haul. But what you do discover about yourself through your interaction in this relationship, you know, it's going to benefit you. There's gifts here. Okay, people? It doesn't have to be a goddamn, it could be a soulmate. It doesn't have to be a motherfucking twin flame. Everybody, a lot of people are so stuck on this twin flame thing. You're only stuck on this twin flame shit because you think it's that it has some type of fire insurance with it. Like, that's the one who's finally going to treat me right and blah, 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 blah. You know, you forget they're still having a human experience too. Meaning they ain't perfect either. That's a whole other story. I'm not even getting into that shit. Jury's still out as far as Papa Shanguito goes about the whole fucking twin flame thing in the first place. I question everything. You get people on here talking about twin flame, as if they just know for a fact. Damn sure, number one, they ain't met their motherfucking twin flame more than likely, if there is one. And number two, you get this information because you read it somewhere. So you're just saying what you read. I digress. But I'm going to tell you the most important thing about this Two of Hearts for you. With this work, this journey, this path work, this whatever you want to call it, as you start to forgive yourself, let yourself off the hook first. Let go of your, let go of your, whatever grudges you may have. But it's more or less accepting the fact, hey, you know what? I did get hurt. I did feel hurt over this or that when this person did this or that. I did. There's an acceptance that is missing here. Maybe that's also how you're lying to yourself. Oh, I'm over it. I'm cool. That didn't do shit to me. Whatever. You're lying. Be honest, at least with yourself. I'm not saying go print it on the internet, write a blog about it, make a video. No one has to know. And when you rectify it with yourself, believe me, the outside will let you know. Because you cannot hide from that reflection. You cannot hide. You can't. And your reflections are all around you. You want to know what's going on inside? Just take a look around you. For fuck's sake. But this Two of Hearts, to me, the ultimate. It's not even about a fucking relationship. It's about a mind and a heart coherence. A mind and a heart getting on the same page. You being united within your mind and your heart. Now you're really unstoppable. Because as long as you can be kept divided by whatever traumas, emotional bullshit, whatever have you, you're never going to be at 100%. You're always going to be flitting and flattering around to some degree, on some dimension. You really want to take your power to another level. You get your mind and you get your heart on the same page. That's the main relationship, the mainest relationship you will ever have, goddammit. And finally, you see the Joker, right? This is to me that Metcalfu Joker. This is the magician. Okay? The motherfucking magi. And you know what this King of Hearts is telling me? This King of Hearts is saying, it's representing to me the masculine side of your emotional system, of your emotions. We all have, masculine emotions and feminine emotions. That whole masculine, feminine thing is in everything. So being that it's masculine emotion, I think it's very apropos to coming on the Lion's Gate. It's having that boldness doesn't mean that you don't feel afraid to do something. It doesn't mean you don't feel fear to step out in the unknown. It just means, okay, I feel this and I'm going to do it anyway. It's like I see two scales. One side you have a shitload of fear stacked on top. On the other side you have boldness. And the more you keep practicing your boldness, it starts weighing more and more. It starts counteracting the fear. It doesn't mean because fear, I don't put fear in a category like it's like a demonized thing. Sometimes we need fear. Sometimes fear gets you to act and do something. Get you up off your ass. You know? Oftentimes all the time, it has wisdom to give you. You just have to sift through it. You have to let it float like when you're sifting for gold, you know. And this Joker, the Magi, is where your magic has the best leverage. There's a move. There's things you want to do. Maybe a thing. One thing at a time. And you've just been bullshitting. You've been letting the fear get the best of you. And you probably even have feelings about the fact that you feel afraid about it. Hey, you know, go figure. But this is about, like I said, moving with boldness, with audacity. And the more you start moving with boldness and audacity, the more you naturally just start coming into that feeling like, yes, I deserve this. You stop being afraid to say what you really want to say. You stop being afraid to express how you really feel. In any situation, I'm not saying be rude, but you can be direct. Can you imagine yourself being able to be direct and actually not really give a fuck how the other person takes it necessarily? You know? Because that whole always considering how someone's going to feel, that shit imprisons you. Once again, you gotta look for the balance in things. I'm not saying to be harsh, abrasive, abusive, stuff like that. But you can be direct. You can say what you need to say and be calm. You don't have to scream it and cuss at somebody and call them names and shit while you're saying your truth. You can just matter-of-factly say what it is for you. Express what the fuck you feel. Say what the fuck you gotta say. Let me clear my throat. You'll find that to be very therapeutic, by the way. But I also see some of you, it's time to step into your boldness. It's time to step in. Cloak yourself with that audacity. You're really going to do? You really think you can? Yep. Who do you think you are? I am the master. On some Last Dragon shit, yo. Because you got that glow. Yeah. Boldness, audacity. Rooted in authenticity. Rooted in, I'm being bold and I'm acting in audacity because I respect myself enough to be bold and move in audacity. I have the audacity to be myself and I ain't afraid to fucking show you. How about that? This is Shango Ray. Peace.